Now then, you can pronounce sticky rice with the perfect falling tone of an Isaan grandmother. You can offer the correct wa to the village shaman, and you can sit through a 6-hour funeral chanting session without once checking your watch. However, by the end of this video, you may see the Isaan women in a completely different way, not as gatekeepers, mind you, but as polite curators of a zoo where you are the only exhibit that pays rent. Let me ask you something. Besides, I want you to really think about it before you answer. Why did you start learning Thai? Was it love? Was it logistics? Or was it that quiet, desperate hope that if you just mastered some phrases, the village elders would finally stop calling you that Farang and start calling you, well, anything other than that Farang? I will give you the answer in about 10 minutes. First, let me pour myself a glass of Lao Khao and tell you what 17 years in a rice farming village northeast of Khon Kaen has taught me. However, before I begin, I want to clarify. This is a fictional narrative shaped by my own experiences and observations, but it does not represent my personal life or anyone else's. You are hearing my genuine voice, not an AI simulation. The visuals, however, were created using AI technology. With that disclaimer in place and in the spirit of transparency, let us proceed with the video. Now, most new arrivals here, and I have watched dozens of them roll in on rented scooters, fresh off the romance of a holiday romance. Most of them believe language is the skeleton key. You know the type. They buy the phrase books. They hire the online tutor from Udon. They practice their tones into a mirror at 6 a.m. while their Thai wife sighs and makes coffee. They think, once I can ask for grilled chicken without accidentally ordering a water buffalo, I am in. I will be one of them. Oh, you sweet summer child. Here is the psychological trap. In the West, we are raised to believe that words equal belonging. If you learn the slang, laugh at the right jokes, and remember everyone's name, you eventually become part of the furniture. However, in an Isaan village, your vocabulary is not a passport. It is a party trick, a mildly amusing party trick, like a dog that can sit on command, but a dog nonetheless. You see, when you greet the 80-year-old rice farmer with flawless, tonally perfect Sabaydi Bapa, he does not think, a brother at last. He thinks, the strange pink man can make sounds. Someone fetch the neighbours. And they do. They really do. Let me paint you a scene. Village wedding. Plastic chairs on dirt. A speaker system that has only 2 volumes, off and waking the dead. You have studied for months. You walk up to the group of grandfathers chewing muckum and spitting betel nut juice like tiny artillery. You open your mouth and deliver a perfect sentence in the local dialect. I nam tuk ni pet kang jai lao. This waterfall sauce, how spicy is it? Silence. Then one old man slaps his knee. Then another, he crackles. Then the whole group is howling. Someone yells, Parang, pet dai, the foreigner can eat spicy. What's more, just like that, you are not a neighbour, you are a circus bear riding a bicycle. They are not laughing with you, they are laughing at the sheer absurdity of you trying. Besides, here is a part nobody tells you. Being understood and being integrated are two different galaxies. They understand you perfectly. They just do not include you. You would get a plastic chair. You would get a bottle of Lau with a communal straw that has been in 17 mouths before yours. You would get the nod, the smile, the DMAC, good, very good. Then they would turn back to the person on the left and talk about the price of fertilizer in 1984, or whose buffalo died, or which cousin's nephew's spirit visited his dream last night. And you will sit there, perfect Thai, perfect Isaan, and absolutely nothing to add, because the real conversation, the one that matters, has nothing to do with grammar. This is the bit which breaks the optimists. You cannot learn a vocabulary list for shared suffering. You cannot translate communal memory. These people, the ones sitting on the bamboo platform at sunset, watching the rice turn gold, they have a history that goes back 3, 4, 5 generations. They buried grandmothers during the Vietnam War when America bombs fell on the Ho Chi Minh Trail 30 kilometers away. They walked 12 miles to school barefoot. They lost uncles to malaria. They survived the financial crash of 97 by eating frog soup for 6 months. The village elder who never quite looks you in the eye, he remembers when the last farang came through. A missionary in 1968, and he tried to ban spirit houses. You are not just an outsider. You are outside of time. No matter how many tones you master, you will never have been there when the temple roof collapsed in the monsoon of 72. You will never know why the noodle woman refuses to talk about her eldest son. You will never share the silent language of people who have watched each other be born, marry, and die on the same patch of red dirt. Thai-ness, Isaan-ness, it is not a set of grammatical rules. It is a lived experience of survival. Besides, survival, my friend, does not come with subtitles. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The elephant with gold jewelry on a brand new Isuzu pickup truck. Money. You might tell yourself you are just a simple bloke in a simple village. Nevertheless, the moment you arrived, the moment you paid 5,000 baht to fix the roof that nobody else could afford, you stopped being a potential neighbour and became a resource, a benefactor, a walking ATM with a pulse and a pension. What is more, do not get righteous with me. I am not blaming them. If a slightly odd, sun-damaged man from a rich country moved into your old council estate in Manchester and started paying for everyone's boiler repairs, you would side-eye him too. However, here the dynamic is permanent. You cannot escape it because you are it. When you help pay for the temple fare, you are not a community member. You are a sponsor. When you lend your truck for a funeral procession, you are not a neighbour. You are a logistical asset. On top of that, when you sit down to eat with the family and your wife's uncle casually mentions that his cousin needs 30,000 baht for a new motorbike, that is not rudeness. That is them seeing you clearly. You are the farang. The farang has money. The farang's feelings are secondary to the buffalo's veterinary bill. Besides, the cruelest joke, the more fluent you become, the more clearly you understand the transaction. Ignorance was a kind of bliss. Now you hear every whispered, let the foreigner pay, and you still have to smile. So, where does this leave us? Suicidal? No. Bitter? Sometimes. However, mostly, and here something you were not expecting. Mostly relieved. Because once you stop trying to climb a wall that was never meant to have a door you can finally sit down and enjoy the view. I stopped trying to be the village elder about 7 years ago. It was a Thursday. I had just been ignored for 45 minutes at a funeral while they discussed a chicken that had laid an egg with 2 yolks. Besides, I thought, this is not failure. This is my job description. My role is not to belong. My role is to be the friendly, slightly grumpy, reliably generous, occasionally amusing farang who lives at the end of the soy. I fix the road pothole when asked. I buy the kids' school books. I wave at the rice trucks. I say petlai when it is actually bland as hell because it makes them laugh. Then I go home to my veranda, my dog, my cold beer, and the profound peace of having no expectations. You want a meaningful life in Isaan? Stop chasing the myth of intrigation. Start practicing the art of respectful observation. You are not a neighbour, you are a permanent guest. Besides, guests who know their place, who do not whine, do not try to lead, and do not confuse vocabulary with belonging. Those guests get the best seat in the house. Do you remember that question I asked you at the beginning? Why did you start learning Thai? Here is a delayed answer. You learned it so you could understand the joke, not so you could be the punchline. You learned it so you could say thank you to the old woman who gives you mangoes and hear her say it's nothing in return. You learned it so you could read the room, accept your role, and stop embarrassing yourself by trying to lead the karaoke at the temple fair. Learning Thai will not get you in. However, it will get you closer to the perimeter. Besides, honestly, the perimeter is a lovely place. The beer is cold, the sunset is free, and nobody expects you to help butcher the pig. If you have made it this far without spitting out your morning coffee, do me a favour. Smash that like button. Not because I deserve it, but because it annoys the algorithm. Comment below with the worst farang moment you have ever had. Furthermore, subscribe if you want more tales from a grumpy old man who learned to stop worrying and love the plastic chair. Now, if you would excuse me, a chicken just ran through my kitchen and I suspect my wife is filming it for TikTok. Bye-bye.